And hey there, good morning. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine here in the Extol Media Studios on this Monday. It is May the 19th and you're watching Ben at 10. And once again, we have a whole lot to cover and talk about as we have another potential severe weather event for tomorrow. We're going to be looking at the slight risk of severe storms for now, for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, but that might be increased. So we've got the ingredients. We've got the unstable air, and we have some jet energy. We've got a warm front, a cold front. Again, all those ingredients that we'll take a look at as we dig into those weather models here coming up in just a minute. So thanks for joining us here, whether it's on my Facebook page, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube. And it looks like everything is rolling along just fine as we get started here on this Monday. Taking a peek outside right now as we are live here in New Albany at the Extol Media Studios, seeing a little peek of some blue sky perhaps, but mostly cloudy. The clouds have been rolling in ahead of a system that might give us a sprinkle or a light rain shower around midday today, early afternoon, but most areas are going to be dry today. Tomorrow is the main focus once again after, unfortunately, a tragic tornadic outbreak Friday night into Saturday morning. Last check, 28 was the death toll in Kentucky and Missouri especially. London, Kentucky hit especially hard. Our area locally, a lot of areas dodged it, but a lot of trees down in Pekin and Borden and over, I think, even Henryville, Sellersburg. So it was very busy in my mom's backyard. I posted about that as well over the weekend. I had to cut up 3 very large trees. So there you can see I was very busy with the chainsaw and cutting them up, not such a big deal, but just removing all of those logs and those tree limbs. And definitely sore now. Here's a look at what I had to do yesterday really quickly before we get into that forecast. So it's going to be a big timber right there. There's kind of something satisfying about a big tree falling, but that tree was it was leaning, as you can see, and we may have to have an expert come out and check out a few more trees that probably need to come down. But it was obviously a very busy weekend. Hopefully you had a good weekend. And today, again, no weather worries today. Tomorrow, once again, we are going to be extra weather aware for the potential of severe storms. So again, that's what we're going to cover here today. Beverly Hagest tuning in with the first good morning as usual. Sometimes it takes a few moments to get folks on board as we start off our Ben at 10. So that's when we start to dig into the forecast here in just a few more minutes. And do want to give a shout out to our partners as well here on this Monday morning. And so we have Ivy Tech Community College, Sellersburg campus. Let me go ahead and bring up, let me remove that, add this, and so we can bring this up full screen here. So you can just go to ivytech.edu, go to locations, you're going to find Sellersburg right there. You can find out all about their programs, how to get started, transfer admission guaranteed. Tuesdays at the Tech, you can get one-on-one information there. It's so flexible, all the things that you can do. If you're in high school, they're going to help you out and get your next level college started for you. They're going to meet you at any point in time in your life and your career, no matter what the age. 42 programs offered there at Ivy Tech. LionsRoofingCo.com in Indiana, 812-294-3595. They've been super busy, like almost record busy this spring because of all the storms that we've had. But you can see there at LionsRoofingCo.com, there's the fill out page there for a free estimate. And Weddington Custom Homes, we're going to have Wednesday. We're going to have Brad on this Wednesday for Wednesdays with Weddington. And there's his page as well, WeddingtonCustomHomes.com. And we'll be talking with Brad about anything you want to talk about. Leave a comment, any questions around the home. It can be outside the home, inside the home. anything around your house. If you have any issues, you've got some projects coming up, drop us the comment and we can discuss that Wednesdays with Weddington in WSB. And they are people you know wherever you go. And they continue this month with project recovery. Any plastic bags, paper bags, tote bags, backpacks, duffel bags, lunch bags, you could drop them off to help out project recovery at any NWSB location. So thank you to all that they are doing. Here's a live look outside over the falls of the Ohio and seeing mostly cloudy conditions across the area, but some peaks of sunshine. And if you go to xtolmag.com/weather, we've got all of the information you need right here. So here is the 7-day forecast that I've updated early this morning. Interactive radar, short-term forecast. The weather story that I've laid out here is going to detail that threat of severe weather for tomorrow. So that says severe storms possible for southern Indiana Tuesday. You've got your storm prediction, severe weather maps. You can click right on that and it'll take you to the different risks. The risk of tornadoes is out to our west over Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas today in those outlined areas. And then if you come back to xtolmag.com/weather, you're also going to find the day 2 severe weather risk. So right now, our area under a slight risk, that is level 2 out of 5. The enhanced risk is just south of us. But there you can see there is that hatch mark and the potential of severe weather. And we've got a happy birthday to Perry Porter in Borden, Indiana. Thanks for tuning in as always, Perry. And he's hoping for a sunny day. So today may not be mostly sunny, but we're getting some sun rays out there here and there. And it looks like a lot of us will dodge just a little bit of a light rain chance for today. So happy birthday to Perry. Thanks as always to your viewership, Perry, as well. Looking at some of the comments, we've got Keith Hennessy. I'm guessing you slept very well last night. Pretty well. Alarm clock was a little bit early. I always wake up before the alarm clock. This morning was like around 5:20, but still slept pretty good nonetheless. Thank you, Keith. It was a busy weekend. Linda Anderson says, wow, good morning to you. And Jennifer Ludwig, good morning. We got a good morning from Lindsay Lynn. Thanks for tuning in. And Angela, tuning in from Louisville. Wish the sun was shining today. Again, I think a little bit, but a lot of that sun is being filtered by some of these high-level clouds moving through. And a good morning again from Vicki Berger there in Salem. About how many actually sunny days do we get in the spring and summer? That would be a project that I would have to look up. I'm not exactly sure how many sunny days we get, but we have been lacking in the sunshine department, I think, this spring because of so many rain chances that we've had. Unfortunately, as we dig into the forecast, you're going to see that the weather pattern is going to be staying pretty unsettled, meaning more rain chances coming up and severe weather chance for tomorrow. There is another live look outside. Again, not a whole lot of sunshine, but at least a little bit popping through there. We're going to bring up our forecast. Let me get back to xtolmag.com/weather. Again, we're looking at the severe weather risk for today, tomorrow. The severe weather risk is out west of us today in the Great Plains, and then it will slide our way as we head into tomorrow. Here's the interactive radar. You can bring that up entirely full screen, and I'll bring that up here for you. And you can see temperatures in the 60s. There's a little bit of light rain starting to try to head our way there in Radcliffe, maybe if that's touching the ground, a sprinkle or two, and then out towards Tell City and east of Owensboro. Heaviest rain far southwestern Kentucky and down towards Nashville this morning, and then more active weather farther out to the west. So there's a chance we might get a sprinkle or a light rain shower again, especially around midday today, around lunchtime, and then overall mostly dry for today. And again, you can see all these tools and resources right at your fingertips here at xtolmag.com/weather. We also have our live stream happening there as well. Dave Cherney finding me here. Dave Cherney was a storm spotter back 20 years ago or so in Augusta, Georgia. Good to see your name popping up there. Hope you're having a good one. Appreciate you finding me here. And Dana Buckner, good morning. So glad you're still giving us weather information. Happy to do that for you. And we've got Christina Kenyon. Good morning again. Ben, good morning to you. Thanks for watching here. Looking over some more of the comments. Hello, Ben. I'm trying to get some yard work done. This rain is putting me behind. You're not alone. My list is very, very long. We've got Mary Mitchell. Is it going to rain today? Because I have a generator running, trying to keep my deep freeze cold, waiting on Duke Energy to show up and reconnect the electric. It's been off since Friday night. That is crazy. So there is only a small chance of some very light rain, like a trace. It should not be a big deal. Should not hurt your generator. And Marcelin Wilson, good morning to you. And Dana Buckner, so do you cover us in Greensburg? So if you're watching the over 3-hour live stream of the storms Friday night that I was doing from my mom's basement, you can see, yes, we cover southern Indiana, but also beyond. So I was all over the place in Kentucky and Indiana on the radar on that busy Friday night. And I'm going to bring up the forecast here for you. Before we do that, we were talking about the sponsors earlier. If you want to be an advertising partner, easy to do that. You can contact me, Ben at xtolmagazine.com, Jason at xtolmag.com. I've been averaging over 2 million views on my Facebook page alone per month over the last 90 days. Doesn't include a lot of the other social media platforms. If you want to get the word out, join forces with us here in Southern Indiana. Ben at xtolmagazine.com and Jason at xtolmag.com. Feel free to just shoot us a message. And we've got Dorothy McDaniel. Good morning from Marengo. Thanks for tuning in, Dorothy. Good Monday morning to you. Here's that forecast today. High of 77 degrees, mostly cloudy. Again, a light shower or sprinkle midday, early afternoon. On either side of that, though, it's going to be mainly dry today. East wind at around 5 to 10. So I do think we'll get hopefully all the sports activities in for later this evening. I know I talk about that a lot, but we've got baseball and tennis, and hopefully the courts will dry up if we do get a little bit of a light rain shower for today. Our sunsets are getting later and later. 8:50 is now our sunset time. Play ball forecast, speaking of which. So we're in the 70s. It's going to be comfortable out there. Pretty light wind from the east at 5 to 10. And just that small chance of a sprinkle, I think mainly in the early afternoon. Sarah Whitehead Bolt, good morning to you. Thanks for popping in to Ben at 10 here on this Monday morning. Tonight's forecast, some showers will be possible, mostly cloudy, low of 62, so it will be mild tonight. East-southeast wind at around 5 to 10. Our sun up at 6:27, getting those earlier sunrises. So the forecast tomorrow, we could have some showers moving through in the morning. It's looking like early afternoon, there could be a batch of some severe storms, possible. And then with a cold front moving through later in the day, towards early evening, there could be another round of severe storms. We're going to see this with our future radar, with the weather models. Again, we'll spend some time there. We're going to compare and contrast, look at the ingredients. If you're into that kind of thing, we're going to get into the weather nerd segment here in just a moment. Normal high, 79 for tomorrow, normal low, 60. In the 7-day forecast, we've got 78 in that forecast for tomorrow. So it'll be a little bit on the warm side before that front moves through. I'm going to give it a solid 100% chance of showers and storms for our Tuesday. Again, all the threats are on the table once again. I know we just went through this Friday, but again, we got to watch out for the potential of damaging straight line winds, large hail, tornadoes will be possible, frequent cloud to ground lightning, and some torrential rainfall. Once that front moves through Tuesday evening, we settle down. Cooler air coming in. With that northwest flow, there might be a sprinkle or light rain shower. I'm only giving this about a 20% chance for Wednesday and Thursday. And our coolest days there, 64 the high Thursday, 68 Friday, maybe back to some long sleeves there, 70 on Saturday, and heading into the weekend, Sunday, a 30% chance, and Monday. So still a little bit on the unsettled weather side. And we got Diana Peine. We are coming to Hannah's match. I hope we have the match today. Can't wait to see you guys later. Peggy Sipes, good morning to you. And we got a good morning from Connie Lichtenberg from Hikes Point. Thanks for tuning in there from Louisville. And we are about ready to dig into the weather models. So I need to go ahead and remove that, add this. and then we're going to bring up the data. We're going to dig into the data. Gary and Jan, it's a good way to put it. This weather is crazy. It is staying very active, no doubt about that. I'm going to bring this up full screen. This is what's happening now. You can see that layer of clouds moving over us. You can see that as we take a live look outside, as well as we look from Extol Media Studios there in New Albany at the corner of Vincennes and Market at a mostly cloudy sky. As we bring back up the radar here, I'll go ahead and bring this up completely full screen for you. So the steadier rain is staying off to our southwest. You see that towards Hopkinsville to Nashville. And then we're maybe sneaking in a sprinkle if that's even touching the ground there near Radcliffe and Fort Knox and Hardinsburg. Not much happening, thankfully, in southern Indiana. So there's just, again, kind of a sprinkle chance over the next few hours. That's kind of a decaying line of some showers and thunderstorms that was well out to the west of us yesterday. Severe weather threat is going to be well west of us over Oklahoma, Arkansas, and into Missouri today. And then it'll spread our way tomorrow. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at that as we bring up the weather model data here. And I guess before we do that, we'll go ahead and bring up the Storm Prediction Center's outlook for severe weather. So here's the severe weather risk today. That's a moderate risk of severe storms out in southwestern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas, Oklahoma, and southeastern Kansas. And then notice that level 1 severe weather risk is mainly off to the west. I don't think we're going to have storms today. We're just kind of on the edge of that level 1. And then level 2 severe weather risk is in western Kentucky. So not expecting storms for today. And as we go to day 2, this is all eyes on Tuesday this week. This is the day that we could have some severe weather once again. Right now, as I bring this up full screen, we are under level 2 severe weather risk out of 5. That's slight risk. And then a higher risk down around Bowling Green, Nashville. Under that orange is the enhanced risk. As we've seen before, as we get closer to an event, we start to get better data. Sometimes these can be increased. So that enhanced risk might shift to the north. It doesn't matter. Either way, there could be a severe thunderstorm or tornado watch tomorrow. Just need to be prepared for that threat of severe weather. Lillian Lasley, hey Ben, thanks for all of your weather reports. Thank you, Lillian, for tuning in here. And Travis, I would not have the answer to that one there for you. All right, let me get to our weather model data. Looking at the future radar, I'm going to bring up the HRRR, the HRRR weather model first. And I don't know if you remember Friday when we were checking out the weather model data, it did show kind of a little bit of a gap in southern Indiana with the big cluster up in central Indiana, clusters of storms to the south. That kind of did happen, although a lot of the counties along the Ohio River in Indiana did get impacted by some damaging straight line winds and some power outages. And Alice says, oop, there we go. Alice, let it be gone Saturday. My daughter's high school graduation is outside. I think we're in good shape Saturday so far. And around 70, 72 degrees. And Jeanette Pierce, good morning. Hope you got some rest from cleaning up your mom's yesterday. Yeah, and right after I did all the sawing and cleaning, I had to mow the yard for like 2 to 3 hours. So Dana asking, what's the timeline for tomorrow? Will it be bad tomorrow morning? Not bad tomorrow morning, but afternoon and early evening, I think, is the main time frame for storms tomorrow. Yes, and thinking of all the folks, Vicky, in Kentucky that have been impacted, especially in London, 28 reported deaths that I've seen so far in Kentucky and Missouri. So it was a bad one Friday night into Saturday morning. That's why we take all of these events seriously when you have these ingredients for severe storms. Okay, back to the weather model data. It's picking up pretty well on just some of this light stuff that we have off to the west and southwest right now. And as we look ahead in time, here's like 1 o'clock. Notice mainly dry today, maybe a sprinkle. Here's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So things are pretty quiet here for today. I'm going to bring up the 48-hour version of the HRRR weather model. So as we head deeper into the night, I'm going to jump ahead as we head this 9 p.m. Look at that. Explosive storms out to the west. They're going to be rocking and rolling out over parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri. That is an outbreak of some severe storms to our west today and tonight. We don't want that tomorrow. That's at 10 p.m. tonight. So it looks like some of that could hold together as it moves our direction tomorrow morning. I don't think it'll be severe though, and that it'll be weakening as it approaches our area. But notice that it does bring in a chance for some showers and thunderstorms early tomorrow morning. This is 5 a.m. And we'll bring this ahead a few hours. So out the door tomorrow morning, can't rule out some scattered showers, weakening thunderstorms from that huge complex of severe weather out west of us that develops later today. So that's tomorrow morning. And we'll time this out as we head into the afternoon as well. So that's at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And there might be some differences in the timing as we look at the two different weather models. So here's some storms. We head towards a midday, early afternoon tomorrow. This latest data shows Kentucky a better chance of that. That would be in that area of a higher threat that we saw from the Storm Prediction Center. Kathy Bryant popping in here. Thanks, Ben. Thanks for keeping us safe. Definitely, that is my goal. Keep us all safe from any potential severe weather. Thanks for tuning in. So this is at 2 o'clock tomorrow. That would be round one. There could be a couple of rounds of strong to severe storms tomorrow. And then we got a late afternoon, early evening. So I do think we got to watch out midday, early afternoon over parts of the area. And then once again, there could be a second stronger round as the front moves in. Could be kind of clustery. Again, sometimes there's space between these clusters of storms, just how they behave. So this is at 6 p.m. tomorrow. And then here is at 7 p.m. tomorrow. So yeah, some big, huge supercells will be possible for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Again, all the threats are going to be possible from severe storms. Same deal as Friday. We're just going to be prepared for it. It was a close call Friday too, because up in Bloomington, Brown County, and into Columbus, Indiana, EF2 ripped through those areas. EF3 is what hit London and leveled homes down that way. 82-mile-per-hour wind gust in Louisville Friday night, and some trees down over parts of southern Indiana. So parts of our area got hit, parts did not. We always want to try to dodge it the best we can. All right, so then as we get a little bit later into the evening time, that severe weather threat should diminish around sunset tomorrow. And then maybe a couple like lingering showers as that front moves through. I'm going to cough real quick. I've learned to turn my mic off when I cough, so I'm trying to be better about that. All right, so that is the HRRR, the HRRR weather model. I'm going to go back to before the storms hit, and we'll look at a couple of the ingredients, which is the CAPE, the available potential energy for these storms. And out ahead of this front, it's not as excessive as the energy that we had Friday, but it's up there. Instead of like mid 80s, we're talking upper 70s tomorrow. So a little bit less of the instability, that convective available potential energy, but enough. Enough still for strong to severe storms. So that's the juice. That's the fuel for the storms. And I'm going to bring up the 850 millibar winds. This is the winds at about 5,000 feet. And there you go. We got a low-level jet that will also help kick up the thunderstorms. And what you learn in the meteorology school is that the nose of the low-level jet, the front end of the low-level jet, is where you have mass convergence. Just kind of imagine this push of air mass, this mass going forward and lifting up the air. So you've got enhanced, it's a kicker. It can kick up the thunderstorms. And also the strong winds in this low-level jet can also come down on the ground and produce damaging straight line winds. You don't want a low-level jet. We have a low-level jet. It could help enhance that storm threat. This is at 6 p.m. tomorrow. I'm going to back this up to like midday tomorrow, and there's still some more jet energy around the region. So again, you got that combo of the unstable air and also the jet energy. We have the ingredients. That's why we have a severe weather threat for tomorrow. Linda Anderson, you said better chance for Kentucky to be severe. There is a bit higher threat right now for Western Kentucky. But again, when we discuss who has a lower, slightly higher, we all just need to be ready for strong to severe storms. All right, I'm going to bring up the NAM 3-kilometer. What I mean is it's kind of insignificant to kind of discuss slightly lower, slightly higher when we all have a chance of severe storms. So this is a look at the low-level jet. Let me bring up the reflectivity, which is, again, the radar view, the future radar. And I need to back this up to now. So this is May 19th at 11 a.m. It's a little more aggressive with the light rain chance, sprinkle chance for today. A lot of this is not going to touch the ground. So for today, it shows more than the HRRR weather model. For today, am buying the HRRR weather model, which shows drier conditions, as we don't have much out there. I think it's a little overdone on the rain chance today. This is at 1 p.m. today. There's this little kind of midday batch of some light rain sprinkles moving out by mid-afternoon. So that's today. I'm going to pop this ahead to like 10 o'clock. Remember, the HRRR had those storms firing up out west. So does the NAM 3-kilometer high-resolution weather model data. There you can see it booming out in Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. So that'll move east through the overnight and possibly bring us, again, that weakening line of some showers and thunderstorms tomorrow morning. Just like the HRRR weather model, it has rain early tomorrow morning. This is at 5 a.m. Looking ahead a couple hours later, this is at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And again, I don't think this morning stuff will be severe, but maybe some rumbles of thunder with that moving through tomorrow morning. Okay, getting into midday, early afternoon, got a warm front lifting over the area, and this could bring the first initial round of strong to severe storms. Notice a little worse in Kentucky overall. That was the trend with the other weather model as well. So that's the first batch, midday, early afternoon, watching out for that potential. That's at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Significant threat of severe storms. Round 2, following in behind that first round with a cold front. This here is 7 o'clock tomorrow. Notice as well, bigger bullseye, as we bring up this up full screen, bigger bullseye over Kentucky. Still a threat in Indiana, but there you can see. Not looking good. Tornado threat, damaging straight line wind threat, large hail threat. That is 6 to 7 o'clock tomorrow, afternoon, evening. All right, moving forward. That is at 8 o'clock. So again, around sunset, things begin to settle down. So it looks like that is the main time frame for tomorrow. A round of some morning showers, maybe a few non-severe thunderstorms tomorrow morning. As we go to midday, early afternoon, warm front, round 1 of severe storm potential, and then cold front moves in. Out ahead of that cold front, late afternoon, early evening tomorrow, round 2, severe weather threat potential. As we get towards sunset, which is now at 8:50 p.m., that's when the severe weather threat will diminish. I will be keeping a very close eye on all this for you tomorrow, but want to get you prepared for that. There you can see, got all the ingredients in place once again, and another system moving through our area. And we have Teresa popping in. How will the driving be from J-Town to Shepherdsville tomorrow between 10 to 2? Will it be safe to drive? So as we just saw, there is that midday potential for severe storms. We're going to have to be ready for warnings as we head into the afternoon tomorrow and into the evening time. Robert Simpson, someone said Southern Kentucky and the new tornado alley. I think the Great Plains will always have the ingredients to be tornado alley. You've got the dry line, you've got jet energy. It is the capital of severe weather in the Great Plains. There's always been a little kind of, I don't know, a nose, a little finger that comes into the Ohio Valley. That is a portion of the tornado alley this time of the year. But I don't think there's a whole lot to that. We've always had severe weather chances in our area. And Teresa saying, you keep saying early afternoon. What is your time on that? Early afternoon. I mean, there's not an exact time. I would say we need to be prepared midday, early afternoon. So lunchtime, early afternoon could be round 1. And again, we're going to fine tune this tomorrow morning before those storms hit too. So stay tuned to that. And then again, round 2, another chance of severe storms will be late afternoon, early evening. That's kind of as specific as we can get at this point. Otherwise, you try to get more specific, you're probably going to get more wrong because we just have, the best that we can get from the weather model data right now. Teresa, you're welcome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the question. Yeah, typically, obviously, as you get closer to the event, then your timing you can give a smaller window of timing. That happened last Friday. The day before, I gave like a 5 p.m. to midnight time frame, and then we kind of shortened that window to like 7 to 10. So typically, you can get more fine-tuned. Certainly that morning, the day of. All right, so that is our severe weather threat for tomorrow. And as we look at just some forecast data here, let me turn off the weather model data. This is that's the precipitation outlook. Let me put on the temperature outlook. Look at that. So this shows a really good chance of below normal temperatures through the 6 to 10 day outlook. So the west warms up and the east cools down. That's why I've got 60s in that forecast for Wednesday and Thursday. Average highs are closing in on 80 this week. As we get towards mid-late May, we're starting to see average highs, normal highs, around 80 degrees, but we're going to be probably about 15 degrees below normal mid-week. So unfortunately, the pool water, if you're lucky enough to have a pool, might be still on the cool side here. And this is the 8 to 14 day outlook, also shows the potential of more cool air than above average, more below average temperatures than above average as we head through the rest of May. But of course, you get into June, typically things are start to turn more and more summer-like as we get closer to summertime. And again, back to the storm predictions, risk of severe weather, in case you missed this earlier, there is a moderate risk, level 4 out of 5, out to our southwest today. And then as we go into tomorrow, day 2, severe weather risk over our area. So southern Indiana and Kentucky under a slight risk. That's level 2 out of 5, and then a bit higher risk when you get towards southwestern Kentucky, down into the western 2/3 of Tennessee, northern Alabama, northern Mississippi, under that enhanced risk. And yes, this could be increased as we head to tomorrow. All right, one more time. We can try to look a little bit farther down the road as we head into the weekend. We'll take a look at the GFS weather model, and then we'll get back to the forecast, and then we'll kind of wrap things up on our Ben at 10 here on this May 19th. Thanks for tuning in on this Monday. Lillian Lasley saying everyone stay safe tomorrow. And another happy birthday to Perry Porter in Borden, by the way. All right. Okay, so today's the 19th. We need to get to this weekend, which what is the date Saturday? So Saturday is the 24th. Let's go ahead and jump ahead. Tomorrow's the 20th. I'm going to jump ahead to Wednesday, and then this will plan out the rest of the week. So Wednesday, most of the rain is off to our northeast. We're on the very, very western fringe of maybe, I've got a 20% chance Wednesday of a sprinkle. And as we jump ahead to Thursday, notice again, we're just kind of on the western fringe of that trough. So another 20% chance Thursday. It would be very, very light, so not a big deal there. Going to go to Friday afternoon. And Friday looks dry for us. Looks like those showers stay just off to the northeast with that upper level low pressure system there. And heading into our Saturday afternoon. So hopefully this stays the same way as we're between systems Saturday, and it's calling for dry conditions Saturday. That's Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. And as we head into Sunday, the Euro and the GFS hinting at a rain chance on Sunday. But notice heavier to our west. We'll see if that plays out like that. But putting in about 30% chance of rain Sunday. That is our May 25th. And into our Monday, May 26th. Look at that. Unsettled weather still around the area. These rain chances are getting so frustrating, aren't they? You got to sneak in that day or two when it's dry to get things done around the yard, mow that grass. If you miss that window, then you got to keep waiting. Such a frustrating season. All right, that is the weather model data portion of the show. And we'll get to the forecast as we take another live look outside. Mostly cloudy conditions. I'll bring up the radar and satellite one more time in the forecast, and then we'll wrap things up here on this Monday. And this is a current look at the radar and satellite. There's some rain just out to our west. That's where these clouds are coming from. And notice perhaps a sprinkle trying to hit the ground out towards Tell City and Owensboro. Most of it fighting some dry air at the surface. So we might get that sprinkle or a light rain shower around midday, early afternoon. And we got Donna Toll. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in, Donna, here. Feeling the back right now. The back almost seized up. All right, we're going to get back to the forecast here for you. So today's forecast, high of 77 degrees, getting a peak of sunshine, but mostly cloudy. Light shower or sprinkle possible. Mostly dry, though, mostly cloudy. East wind at 5 to 10. Our normal high today is 79, so we're pretty close to that. And we'll be in the upper 70s tomorrow before the showers and thunderstorms arrive. Our sunset at 8:50. That play ball forecast, again, should be mainly dry, comfortable 70s. east wind at 5 to 10, and mostly cloudy. And tonight, some showers will be possible, especially during the late overnight hours. And 62 our low temperature tonight. East-southeast wind at 5 to 10. Sunrise at 6:27. Tomorrow's forecast, some showers and a few thunderstorms in the morning. But our heads up for the potential of severe storms midday into the early evening. Right now, I'd say let's watch out noon to 8 p.m. Kind of a big window, but there could be a couple rounds of severe storms tomorrow that we got to watch out for. Perhaps a little higher threat over Kentucky than Indiana. Either way, we all stay ready for any alerts tomorrow. And Sheila saying, I think 77 is a good day. And I would agree with you. The temperatures are looking pretty good out there. In our 7-day forecast, we've got 78 tomorrow before the showers and thunderstorms, 100% chance of the rain tomorrow. And then 71 and just maybe an isolated light rain shower or sprinkle Wednesday, keeping that sprinkle chance in there Thursday, 64. Cooler air dropping in mid to late week. We've got 68 Friday. So far, mainly dry Friday too. Hopefully we can keep the rain chances away there. And so far, so good. Saturday, 70 degrees. Could see some showers starting to return to the forecast next Sunday and into Monday. So yeah, we get like these 2-day windows every once in a while, and then we mix in some rain chances as it seems like we have all season long. And let me bring that out, add this back in. All right, and another resource I just want to mention, if you're just tuning in, you can go to xtolmag.com/weather. This is where we have a lot of different weather tools here for you. You can pop up the weather story. I did update this. Of course, you've seen some of these maps here today with our weather models, but you can see updated this morning with some of the weather model maps here, and so the timing, the storm prediction centers outlook, the tornado risk is this map right here for tomorrow. That's that 10% hatch mark of EF2 or greater, southwestern Kentucky, Tennessee, and then more forecast data for you right there. So that's our right up there at xtolmag.com/weather. You got your interactive radar, lots of other tools. Lillian Lasley, raining at my house. Whoop. And where are you at, Lillian? Not seeing any rain on the radar right now. But I just saw your comment. I'm going to see if there's a sneaky sprinkle in here somewhere that I can find here as the radar. Hard to tell. Is there a sprinkle coming down? It looks mainly dry across the area. Looks like some sprinkly stuff as well in Breckinridge County and in Grayson County. Not a whole lot out there as we look at that live sweep here. And outside, we are pretty dry and just mostly cloudy. Donna Toll's got cloudy conditions in Elizabethtown. Yeah, again, just maybe some sprinkly stuff. Again, midday, early afternoon for today. Big bad storms possible, unfortunately, for tomorrow. All right, that'll pretty much wrap it up here. And let me go back to the website. Once again, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to our partners, Ivy Tech Community College in Sellersburg. You can find a whole lot more information. You can get registered, ivytech.edu. You can head to locations, head to the Sellersburg location. It'll pop up this page. 42 programs offered. You can see a list of them right here. And all the ways to help, how to find out how to get started, to pay, to register, and get going. And also, lionsroofingco.com. Lions Roofing, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. Indiana, 812-294-3595. This is lionsroofingco.com. You can head right there. And shout out to NWSB newwashbank.com, people you know wherever you go. And a shout out to my buddy Brad. He's going to be popping on here Wednesdays with Weddington. And quality, integrity, experience, and affordability, Weddington Custom Homes. This is weddingtoncustomhomes.com. Thank you guys for tuning in here. Let me see if there's any more comments popping in. Vicky Berger, have a great day. Lillian, that makes sense. There was some little sprinkles down there in Grayson County that we saw on the live radar sweep. I think we're going to give the last comment here to Vicky with the have a great day. Want you all to have a great day. Hey, make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're going to be trying to fine tune that window of severe weather potential for our Tuesday, May the 20th. It's a day we got to be having an eye to the sky, extra weather aware for tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, whether it's on my Facebook page. Let me go ahead and go back to the comments here real quick. And again, my Facebook page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, P-E-I-N-E, or you can go to Extol Weather. Find some more weather resources there on Facebook, and Extol Media on YouTube. extolmag.com/weather also has our live stream right there. All right, this has been Ben at 10. We'll see you tomorrow morning at the same time. Thanks for tuning in.